Up in San Francisco, meets the bridge on the standing there, and then you fell into a well, and that was many years ago, and I am so much older now. My brother is a soldier now, and I don't remember the words, but it's a pretty cool song, 'cause you do Alright, San Francisco. San Francisco is where I live. I don't actually live in San Francisco, actually. Let me start over. San Francisco is right next to where I live, because it's really expensive to live in the city unless you want to live in a really shitty part of the city. Because it's expensive, which is funny because it's super liberal and people are all about, like, being super liberal and being like, yeah, fucking poor people have rights and shit, but that's easy to say because in the cool neighborhoods, you can only afford to live there if you're rich, and the homeless people are pretty much out of sight. I mean, there's a couple homeless people stumbling around, but it's not too bad, even though there's a lot of them, because they're not generally like the crazy, violent, the New York type homeless people. They're usually just like the insane, like fucking, just like, this dude is fucking crazy homeless people, and they'll bug you. Like, they'll be pretty aggressive, but they're not gonna hurt you. You know, they're not gonna pull out a knife and stab you unless you're in like Tenderloin or something. They might do that. But why are you in the Tenderloin, you fucking crackhead? Like, why would you go there? It's like shady as fuck. But anyway, yeah, lots of homeless, like, heroin junkies stumbling around asking you for money if you're in like a 5 mile radius of the TL or whatever. And it's right next to, it's like a block away from the design, like, fancy fucking Burberry, like, designer stores in the financial district, which is kind of funny that they put like the shittiest part right next to like one of the nicer parts. Everyone in San Francisco is pretty crazy. I mean, there's lots of crazy people wherever you go, but like, I'm pretty sure there's like 20% of people who live in San Francisco are on the autism spectrum, which is cool because I'm pretty tapped, so it makes me feel like I'm like a well-adjusted conservative person when I'm out here, you know? And San Francisco, there's cable cars. I don't really give a shit that there's cable cars, but for some reason I feel compelled to tell you that there's cable cars. For some reason people like to point out that there's cable cars. So yeah, there's cable cars. And if you want to live here, you should live here. It's a cool place to live. But here's the different places you should live depending on who you are. If you're like a hipster, you should live in the Mission. Or, you could live in Berkeley or Oakland, but like the Mission is like fucking hipster central. It's like, it's pretty sweet though. I like it there, but again, I can't really. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk about the Mission anymore. If you're really rich, like if you're like a millionaire and you're like really good looking, you should live in Pacific Heights. Some is also acceptable, but if you're really rich, you should have like some gigantic mansion in Pacific Heights. If you like to fuck guys in the ass, you should live in the Castro probably. If you're like a burnout, or like you want to bong or some mushrooms or something, you should probably live near the Haight. The park is pretty close to there, and it's big and it's nice, but again, it's full of like burnouts and homeless people. And last time I was going for a jog there, it was lovely. I saw a homeless woman. She was about probably 300 pounds, and she was shitting on a tree. She didn't seem to mind that there were people around. She was just taking a shit on a tree. So that was interesting. Sunset's kind of cool. I kind of like sunset. If you like to surf, if you want to get some like dim sum or some shit, you should go to fucking Inner Richmond, because Chinatown kind of sucks. Inner Richmond's like the legit Chinatown, in my humble opinion. if you're like a dumb tourist and you like don't know anything about the city and you like crowded restaurants with shitty food and like chain places and airbrush t-shirts and just generally have bad taste and suck at life, then you should go to Fisherman's Wharf. It smells bad and there's nothing to do there except for stupid touristy things, and it's like the shittiest part of the city. But people who aren't from here for some reason go there because they don't know anything about here. Um, yeah. So that's those are the neighborhoods. There's more. Um, Sunset's cool. I like Sunset. I already talked about Sunset, I think. Anyway, but yeah, the stereotype is that there's lots of crunchy granola like veggie burrito types and shit, and that's totally true. Like there's every fucking block there's like a yoga studio and like a new age bookstore where you can get like a picture of a mandala with some like Indian chakra trippy looking shit and buy like fucking incense with like a picture of some fucking weird dude with like a beard on it. And the stores in general are kind of weird. Like in most cities, you go to a store and they sell like one thing. They're like, hey, we're a clothes store. Or they're like, hey, we're a fucking, an office supplies store. But like, if you walk into a store in San Francisco, they'll be like, yeah, dude, we got some pottery. My friend Travis like makes these like t-shirts and corduroys, and like we have like fucking vegan cupcakes, and like in the back I can do like energy work on you for like $50 an hour. And we also have like used iPods. Like it doesn't make any sense, but it's kind of interesting. Um Lots of Mexican people, lots of Asian people, lots of gay people. But yeah, people are pretty snobby. But that's kind of a plus because it kind of keeps the quality of stuff pretty consistently good. Like there's lots of cool shops and restaurants and like fucking big like weird like independent grocery stores that sell like all like this local shit, and there's like crazy farmers markets and shit, and like it's a good place to be if you like to like be picky about stuff. I guess I haven't really said anything funny. This one's not really that funny. Oh well. None of them are really that funny. Oh well. I guess like I'm saying oh well as a crutch. Oh well. Oh well. I don't know why anybody watches any of my videos. They're almost exclusively complete garbage. Like seriously. Like, if you're watching this, you're fucking have too much free time. Anyway, don't call it Frisco. People will be mad at you if you call it Frisco. There's good weed here. Lots of good drugs and, but, that's not the cool thing. The cool thing is that, I don't know, for some reason people just seem happy. Like, people just seem happier and nicer here than they are in most cities. I don't know why, but it just has a cool vibe to it, and I really like it. It's sweet. It's like my favorite city in America. So come move here, and we'll like eat a sandwich. Okay, YouTube? Move to San Francisco. Fucking give me a call, and we'll eat a sandwich. 'Cause like I know some good places